Good evening, everybody. I'm Dinesh Kumar R. I hope it is clear. Can you hear me? Those who are watching me live, kindly reply. Is it okay? Is everything clear? Yes, I hope things are fine. So, very good evening. So, let us continue with the class that we were continuing. We have just begun it in the last week. It is the World Climatic Regions. And when I talk about World Climatic Regions, we are dealing with one of the most important part of climatology for the UPSC Civil Services examination. So let us see. This is my introduction. If you like my class, you can follow me on the Unacademy profile. So before beginning the class, there are some important informations for you guys. Like we are left with 6 months for the examination. Prelims is on 27th June. So it is time that we start our preparation in a right way because there is a limitation of time now. So you guys need to be guided properly. So for that, if you check this particular chart, it is very well understood that generally on an average I can say around 10 lakh people apply candidates they apply for the UPSC examination, but finally those who clear is only around 900. That is, can you see, only 0.9%. And one of the shocking factor is out of this 10 lakh that applies, only around 45% of that writes the exam. The thing is, reason for that is they are not well prepared. They are nervous before the examination. Why? Because they are not getting proper guidance at certain instances, and their studies are also not up to the mark. For that, Unacademy has come up with some 6 month new batches now. I'll be just giving a small introduction about those batches. Before that, please remember, my friends, those who are above 27, you must be very careful for with your preparation. It should be perfectly structured and well guided because you don't have much options, and be ready with a plan B also so that you are safe. Those who are less than 27 years now, you are comfortably left with time now, so you can work well with your basics. So that is how the strategy will be going. So you know about UPSC examination. I hope most of you. For the newcomers, if you please understand, there are more than 20 subjects to be studied, there are more than 100 books to be covered, 11 exams you have to write, and you have just 6 months left now. So what to do? So for that, UPSC Unacademy has come with this new 6 month batches, which is exclusively for the prelims examination. I repeat, it is exclusively for the prelims examination. But that does not mean that this course is a crash course. No. So please remember, this is an extensive batch which will complete your preparation for the prelims. And there are these batches on different languages, and the batch durations, can you see, the batches are coming for 2021 prelims. There are batches they are coming for the next years, that is 2022 prelims, though you have more than 1 years now. And even for the college goers, the final year students, there is 2 years batches. So you can consider joining them so that your preparation get organized. The recent 6 month batch, it is coming in bilingual language, Hindi language and English, whichever you prefer. And the date of the start date is 21st December. So don't waste time. Try your subscription so that you get a proper guidance through Unacademy. And for next one who are writing for 2022, there is also same date the class is starting with the same different languages. You have courses on bilingual language, Hindi language, and the English language courses are there. And this one is for the college goers. It is a 2 year course. You can join it now, and all those who subscribe for the plus courses, they will be they can access these particular courses. So that is the batch course. And once you subscribe to the plus course, you will get the access to the batch course, as well as you will also get the access to the individual courses by the faculties. And I hope you know that there is one more special type of subscription, which is, we call it iconic subscription, which is to help the aspirants with a special personal coach, or I can say you will get a special mentor, regular updates you will get extra attention here, you will get main test series, you can you can do answer writing practices. All these will be corrected, and you will be closely monitored personally by these coaches. So this will be, and there is an announcement that the price of the iconic courses, it is going to rise soon. So take the benefit. If you are interested, you can join them. And this is the fee structure of the plus courses. And those who are interested to subscribe the plus courses, this is my referral code Dinesh RT10. If you can use that, you will get 10% discount. That is, you can see the fee. If I talk about the 24-month, that is 2-year course, the fee is generally around 72,000. But if you use my referral code Dinesh RT10, the fee will be around 64,800. So these are the fee of different courses, different cases will be having here. Is there any doubt? Are you all clear with the classes? Can kindly let me know, is everything clear here? If you have any messages, you can keep posting. Okay, please give me a second. Let me just check the messages if there is any. Yes, chalo. It's Preetilata Naik, right? Good evening. Very good evening, Preetilata. Okay, chalo. If any doubts are there, you can directly post it here. I can read it. Okay. So moving further, we have started with the class that is World Climatic Regions, and I have clearly mentioned that World Climatic Region is a part of our course that is known as climatology. And if you want to attend these courses climatology, you can visit Unacademy profile, you can visit my profile, you will get these classes. There are special classes which is freely available, and the detailed courses will be available on the plus courses, and all these topics are completed there. So last class we have discussed what are the factors that is responsible for development of different climatic regions. I have already discussed, so please revise these topics. Now, then this is the topic that we discussed, that there are going to be 13 world climatic regions that we will be discussing. What are these 13 world climatic regions? It is in front of you. See, I will repeat it. So you have equatorial climate, you have polar climate, tundra climate, taiga climate, tropical monsoonal climate, savanna climate, tropical deserts, China type, mid-latitudinal deserts, Mediterranean climate, Laurasian climate, steppes, and the British climate. These are the 13 climates that we'll be studying in details in the class. Now, please understand, if you can see the numbers that I have given in here, you can clearly see that this is 1, then I'm directly going here with 2, 3, and 4. And if you see the color code that I have used, it is just to simplify the things. You can see the black color ones, they are 1, 2, 3, and 4. Why? I will just explain. The others from 5 to 13, you can see I have written in blue color. So what is the purpose of that, changing the color and rearranging the numberings? I could have gone with this as 2, but no. Why did I do that? So for understanding that better, please understand, among these 13 world climatic regions, we can divide them into two different types. What are these two different types? One is, as you see here, thermally induced climatic region. And the second is, I can say them as dynamically induced climatic region. Dynamically induced climatic region. Now, what does that mean? In the last class, we have discussed what are the conditions they are responsible for deciding a climatic region. Now, I am saying that there are thermally induced climatic region and there are dynamically induced climatic region. So, what are they? First, let me explain the thermally induced climatic region. Can you see in this figure clearly on this slide that we have 4 thermally induced climatic regions? They are, let me just change the color. They are equatorial climate, polar climate, tundra climate, and the taiga climate. These are the four climatic regions. They are thermally induced. On the structure that I have drawn for you, I will explain what is this structure also. On this structure, I'm talking about these regions. This is my equatorial climate. This is my polar climate, tundra climate, and taiga climate. What I'm saying is, I'm just mentioning that these 4 are thermally induced world climatic regions. Why? What is thermally induced world climatic region? When I use the word thermal, can I say it has directly to something to do with the temperature? When I say it has directly to do with temperature, can I say it is directly to do with sunlight, or I can say insolation? Are you getting it? Is it perfectly okay? So those climatic regions which are directly influenced by temperature or insolation will be known as thermally induced pressure belt. For example, we all know that this is the geoid shape of our earth, and we know that earth is divided by the latitudes into different heat zones. So what are these different heat zone? This one is known as tropical zone, this particular belt. Next one we can say is a temperate zone. If I want to show the latitudinal degrees, this is 0 degree equator, this is 23 and half north, this is 66 and half north, and this is 90 degree north. Similarly, same things on the south. Now, when I say thermally induced region, that means the climatic region is developed by sunlight differences. Now, which are the areas I have marked as climatically induced regions? If you check this figure, okay, this figure. Now, let me explain what is this figure. So try to understand it here. For example, we know that this is my North America, for example, right? This is my North America. And for example, here I have my South America. I have my entire European countries here. And somewhere here, I have my Africa. I'm just drawing it roughly, okay? Just to make you understand something. This is my Africa. Somewhere here, we have our India, right? And the entire European Eastern countries, Australia go here on all this particular thing. This is roughly the world map. Now, if I take one of the continents, this is suppose North America, what can you see? On the eastern side of North America, here you have ocean. Western side you have ocean. South America, eastern side is there ocean. Western side you have ocean. Similarly, every continent on its sides, you basically have oceans. Now, if I want to roughly represent this as a continent, if I just want to roughly represent this as a continent, can I say this continent is covered by water on both its east and west? This is water and this is water. So this is the chart that I have drawn. Can you see? This is that continent that I want to represent. Ideally, can you see this is 0 degree equator, 10 degree, 30 degree, 45 degree, and up to the pole 90 degree. That is, if this is my roughly, I'm saying about a continent. Suppose this is my continent. Latitudinally, if I go higher and higher, by the time I reach near pole, this is 90 degree. By the time I am near equator, it is 0 degree. That means, for example, this is my continent. I can divide my continent from equator. This is my equator, suppose 0 degree. I will be going 10 degree, 30 degree, 45 degree, 60 degree, 70 degree, 80 degree, and 90 degree. Similarly, the same thing will be repeated on the southern side as part of southern hemisphere. That is what I try to represent in this particular figure. So what is this figure? This figure represents a continent on the northern hemisphere. I hope things are very clear. Is that clear, Preetilata? Please try to answer me. Now, if that is the case, can I say the areas near the equator, the area that I'm going to mark it now, can you check this area? Maybe I'm talking about first 10 degrees away from the equator, north and south. Can I say this area receives more sunlight because they are near the equator? And similarly, can I say the area which is much higher, that is somewhere here near the pole, 80 to 90 degree latitude, can I say this area is in the polar region? Similarly, this area is in the polar region, so they will be receiving, or I can say above 60 degree. Okay, they are the Arctic region, I can say roughly. So this area receives very less amount of sunlight. This area, they receive very less amount of sunlight. They are known as the polar region. So what did I say? I said equator, near equator and its nearby area, that is the region up to 10 degrees, they receive more sunlight. The region beyond 60 degree, they receive less sunlight. So can I say these regions 1 and 2 and 3, can I say these regions are developed because of insolation changes? If I talk about the first region, that is equator, this region is developed because of surplus sunlight. So I can say thermally induced belt with more sunlight. And if I talk about this 2 and 3 region, can I say the temperature region is developed because of lack of sunlight? That is also thermal region. So that is why I have tried to divide these particular areas. That is the areas beyond 60 degree. You can see it here, and the areas up to around 10 degree north and south. I try to divide them as thermal belts of thermal world climatic regions because they are directly formed because of either lack of sunlight. Is this? Yes, because of either lack of sunlight in this belt, and here I can say there is surplus sunlight. That is why we call them thermally induced world climatic regions. So that is the first part. Second, what did I say? We have another set of world climatic regions which are dynamically induced. What are now dynamically induced? You can see this figure. This figure very clearly mentions how the equatorial area gets direct and most intense sunlight. So it is very hot here. And you can see the as you go near the pole, the sunlight becomes more and more inclined. So as a result of that, the sunlight will be very less in this belt. That is why I can say this is less the area, the climatic region is formed by less sunlight, so thermally induced. This is by maximum sunlight, so again thermally induced pressure belts. So this is how the world climatic regions work, thermally induced. Second category, I have the dynamically induced world climatic regions. What are they? Entire that we have discussed, I hope you remember, from 5 to 13. That is, if you remember the color coding that I have used, all these blue colored ones, they are known as our world climatic regions, which are dynamically induced. So what are these world climatic regions? They are monsoonal type, savanna type, desert type, again another type of desert, China type, Mediterranean type, Laurasian type, steppe type, and British type. They are all dynamically induced pressure belt. When I say dynamically induced pressure belt, what I mean is they are induced by winds. They are formed because of the wind variation. So please remember, when I talked about the thermally induced pressure belt, that was because of sunlight. When I talk about dynamically induced pressure belt, they will be because of the effect of wind. That is the basic difference there. How? I hope you guys all know about some of the very common winds that we have. We have permanent winds on the map of the world. Yes or no? Can you please name which are the permanent winds that we have? Can you please name which are the permanent winds that we have on the map of the world? Which are the most common permanent winds? We have three permanent winds if you know very clearly. What are they? Try to answer. For now, I'm just roughly drawing it here. So by the time I'm waiting for your answer. Any updates? No? Shall I answer then? So this was my equator, right? 0 degree, 30 degree on roughly 30 degree, or I can say 30 degree. Here it is 60 degree. Here also 60 degree. Here it is 90 degree and 90 degree. So what are my important winds here? The primary winds are, or permanent winds are, these are, that is within 30 degree, the red colored one, they are known as trade winds. They are known as trade winds or easterlies. Or the second one, the above in between 30 to 60 degree latitude, they are westerlies. They are westerlies. Above 60 degree, they are polar easterlies. Above 60 degree, they are polar easterlies. That is, if you want to see the permanent winds, these are the permanent winds or prevailing winds. What are they? This wind, which is moving from east to west near the tropical belt, they are known as trade wind or easterlies. These wind above 30 degree, they are known as westerlies wind, here and here. This one is again trade wind on both sides, okay? Trade wind or easterlies. Above that, it is coming from pole from east. That is known as polar easterlies. This is known as polar easterlies. So these are my permanent winds. How these permanent winds regulate the world climate? We have to understand that very well. So to understand that even better, let us divide this permanent belt, most important wind under permanent belt, into two belts. One is there will be some climates which are trade wind regulated climates, and we will call some as the westerlies regulated climate. How can we say that? Let us try to answer that particular thing. These are the three, and I can say one more here. This is known as your China type. I have deliberately not included here because we have to answer this when we discuss the next wind. That is why I have not included it here. So please wait. This one is number 8 according to my coding. Now these codes, please remember, it is to simplify your understanding. Okay. Now this 5, 6, 7, and 8, these four regions, I can say they are trade wind regulated belts. What are trade winds? See, trade winds, do you remember? I talked about easterlies, this wind. So these areas will be definitely where they will be between 0 to 30 degree. So can you see very clearly? Trade winds blow between 0 to 30 degree. This is the belt where you have trade winds. So that is why I said these winds 6, 5, 6, 7, and 8, they are trade wind regulated world climatic regions. Now you can definitely ask, why not these two belts? Why not these two belts? because you can see one thing, it is above 30 degree. And then you can ask why China type is under trade winds. I will be explaining this after some time. So let us try to understand why these four are trade wind regulated belts. Now, do you remember we have just seen trade wind? They blow from northeast direction to southwest direction. That is this flow like this. Now, if I want to draw this wind here, can I say this is my trade wind? Can I say this is my trade wind? This is my trade wind. This is my trade wind, or this is my trade wind. This is how our trade wind is active. Now, we have just mentioned one more thing, if you remember, that I have considered this box as a continent. On this side of continent, I have ocean. So this is my ocean. And on this side of continent, I have my ocean. Now, can you consider it very well when a wind is entering into the land from the ocean? From the ocean, can I say the wind will be carrying huge amount of moisture with it? So what I say about tropical monsoonal climate, it is near the margin of the continent. So the moisture from the continent, they will be entering into this particular belt. So can I say this area will receive good amount of rainfall because the wind is coming from the sea. So you will be getting some good amount of rainfall here. Now please remember, I'm just giving a general explanation of the world climatic types which is present up to 30-degree latitude. When I especially, or I can say exclusively, when I talk about monsoonal type, the entire thing will change. That thing we will be dealing when we exclusively deal with this topic, tropical monsoonal type. Why it will change? Because I hope you guys know the meaning of the word monsoon is the seasonal variations of wind. So in this area, I cannot say that trade wind is always like this red line. It keeps on changing. So I'm not bringing that doubts here. I will be explaining that especially when I will be taking this particular topic. For now, you just understand the basic pattern of the wind, that the wind is entering from the ocean and it is entering into this part of the continent. Now, it can create good amount of rainfall here because it is a very moist wind which is coming from the ocean, nearby ocean. After some time, so after creating rain here, can I say the wind will pass into this region? That is known as savanna region. Why is this savanna region? So because the wind is reaching here after crossing this belt. So can I say it has left or shed huge amount of rainfall in this area? The moisture was present. So huge amount of rainfall was created here. Now whatever moisture is left, the wind will be reaching here with leftover moisture. Leftover moisture is the amount of moisture is less now with the wind. So that less moisture will create some amount of rainfall here, but it is slightly dry area because most of the moisture has been shed at the fifth location. So whatever is left, that will create some amount of rainfall here. So I can say the rainfall will be lesser here compared to 5. So when I talk about savanna, you will get certain type of vegetation which requires less amount of water. Best example, if I want to give, tropical monsoonal type areas, you will get forest because trees require water. But when I come to savanna, you don't get dense forest. You get, I can say, grasses, long grasses. These are grasslands because you have less amount of rain there. Further, I move towards west. Can I say the wind will be entering after passing through this belt here? So wind has become more and more drier. And can you see towards the western end, the wind is moving out from the land. The wind is moving into the ocean. Such wind which is moving from land to ocean are referred as offshore wind. Are referred as offshore wind. The wind which is entering into the land are referred as onshore wind. So please remember what happens to onshore wind. It takes moisture into the land so it can create rainfall. What happens to offshore wind? It takes whatever moisture is present, it takes away from the land. So can I say this belt will be extensively dry belt because the moisture by the time it reaches here, it becomes very dry. Or can say wind which by the time it reaches here, it becomes very dry. Apart from that, I'm experiencing offshore wind. Whatever moisture is present, that will be drawn out into the sea. So this is developed as a desert. So I hope you understand very well. When I move from east to west, what I am seeing on the easternmost side, I have dense forest. Middle portion, I have grassland. On the west, I am seeing desert because the moisture goes on decreasing. So can you clearly see these three regions are developed because of trade wind which is active over this belt. That is why my 5, 6 and 7 is referred as trade wind regulated pressure, trade wind regulated world climatic regions. Now one more is there, 8, you will understand when I discuss the next point there. I'll be using this slide to draw. Now one more small announcement here. Now those who have not yet subscribed to the plus courses, there is a small announcement for you guys. If you want to experience the plus subscription for free, Unacademy has come with some great initiatives like free special classes, free test and the live quizzes. These free special classes are similar to the classes that we conduct in the plus platform. These are these are as we conduct the class in plus platform. These are 1 hour classes which the faculties take live, so you can try join these classes. And to attend the free special classes, you will require an unlock code, and the unlock code, those who will be using first time Unacademy, you can use my referral code DineshRT10 to unlock these logged videos. There are a number of videos. If you visit my profile, you will get more than 100 lectures, special classes lectures which are freely available. So you can attend that, and if you like, you can think about the plus subscription later. So this is Unacademy Combat. Please remember, there are every fortnightly, that is on December 10, Unacademy is coming with Unacademy Combat. You can participate, and there are exciting prizes waiting for you guys. And this is another free initiative. There is daily T20 current affairs test series for the aspirants, which is provided free by Unacademy. So you can attend this also, which can improve your preparation. Apart from that, the present YouTube classes that we are taking on as a part of Unacademy Articulate, it is free, and there are Telegram channel you can follow where you will get regular updates and PDF materials of the classes. These are some of the free initiatives by Unacademy. Now, next one is the second category, that is Westerly's regulated world climatic regions. Now, what are Westerly's regulated world climatic regions? If you ask me, are they only this much? The answer is no. So what are Westerly regulated world climatic regions? The answer is, I can say, most importantly, let me change the color here, 9, 10, 13 and 14. 11 is not mentioned. Reason is, it is just a transition belt. It comes under the effect of different winds. Even it comes under the effect of polar easterlies. So it's a slight, I can say, a transition belt. So we will be discussing 9, 10, 12 and 13. Can you see here? Now give me a second. Yes, 9, 10, 12 and 13. So there is a slight issue in the here. Let me just check. 12, 13, 10, 11. Yes, things are perfectly correct. So what did I say? So please remember here, exclusively, as I said, 11 is slightly influenced by the polar easterlies also. So it is, I can say, not entirely dependent on westerlies wind, but still it is affected by westerlies wind. How? Do you remember we talked about easterlies wind like this? So easterlies wind, as it reaches, by the time it reaches here, it becomes very dry. Similarly, when I talk about westerlies wind, it also will pass from here, then reach here, then slightly it will reach here. But this one, as it reaches here, it will become dry. But this region gets some rainfall because of the wind coming from this side. That's why we cannot say it is perfectly under westerlies. Okay, but ninth one, please remember, this is my 9. 9 is little bit complicated. What is that complication with respect to 9? The complication that is with respect to 9 is, it is regulated by both the winds. What is both the winds? If you know about winds, again I will go back to the previous figure. If you remember the pressure belts and the wind. So this is my northeast trade wind, this is my southeast trade wind. Now if you know climatology, you will understand that these are permanent winds, but they keep on changing their positions. How? During summer season, the sun shifts, I can say during the month of June, sun reaches the Tropic of Cancer somewhere here. And when sun is in the Tropic of Cancer, the entire wind system will move above. Why? Because the pressure gradient is changing. So when the pressure belt changes with the movement of sun, entire wind will change towards north. Now that is what is represented in this figure. Can you see? Ideally, normally when I consider equator, this is my location of the pressure belt, which is high pressure. From this high pressure, I have this wind that is known as easterlies wind. This is my westerlies wind. But when I'm talking about summer, and with the apparent movement of sun towards north, what happens is entire high pressure system, this is not a subtropical high pressure system, it moves towards north. And when this subtropical high pressure system moves north, can you see it is written as S? What is S? Summer. What is W? Winter. So during winter, subtropical high pressure belt is lower. During summer, when the sun moves higher, the entire pressure belts moves higher. So subtropical high pressure belts moves higher. So can you see westerlies has become farther north and easterlies has also become farther north. This was the location where my easterlies was blowing. Do you remember this numbering? Can you please tell me what was this number? Can I say this was our fifth climatic region, that is monsoonal type? Do you remember I clearly said I will be explaining 8 which is under trade wind. How? Can you see when the pressure belt shifts towards north, 8 comes under the trade wind. So when 8 comes under trade wind, can I say 8 will also receive rainfall when during the summer season, because summer season at 8 the wind is entering from the sea, so it will receive good amount of rainfall. That is the reason why I clearly mentioned 5, 6, 7 and 8, they are trade wind regulated climatic regions. I hope is it very clear. Kindly reply, is that perfectly okay? The trade wind regulated regions. If that is clear, we will just wait for dynamically induced climatic belt and we will see it in the next class. That is tomorrow, same time we have this continuation class, and tomorrow we will be discussing what are these dynamically induced pressure belt and how 9 I said they are influenced by both trade winds and westerlies wind. That further discussion we will be doing in tomorrow's class. So I hope it is very well understood what is the difference between thermally induced pressure belt and the dynamically induced pressure belt. And second point, I hope the second thing is also clear, that is why my 5, 6, 7 and 8 is known as trade wind regulated climatic regions. Others, that is dynamic belts, that is regulated by westerlies, and both westerlies and easterlies, that is from 9 to 11, we will be explaining it in tomorrow's class. Clear? So there are 13 world climatic regions. We are continuing with that. So continuation will be tomorrow. So if you are liking my classes, you can follow me on my Unacademy profile, which is given here. And to watch the free special classes lecture or to subscribe to the plus course, you can use my referral code DineshRT10. So if you are subscribing, you will be getting a 10% discount using this. If you want to unlock, you can unlock the free classes. You can use the same referral code DineshRT10. Now again, it's a reminder, there is going to be a slight price hike in the iconic patches. So you can get your admission soon if you are interested, so that you can get the benefit at less cost. So again, this is the subscription rates of our plus courses on Unacademy. So what are the rates? For 2 years, it is 72,000. But if you use my referral code, that is DineshRT10, you can get access to the course at a 10% discount, which is, I can say, a huge discount. And believe me, the fee 64,800 for 2 years. It is a very good opportunity for you guys, because outside the fee is relatively much higher. And if you are interested for 1 year course, you can get it after a discount at 44,550. So you can use my referral code DineshRT10 to avail these discounts. So I hope you like the class. Comment on the comment section if you have any doubts. I will be replying to these doubts and on the next class. So thank you. It was a wonderful class with you guys. So take care, stay safe. Bye. Good night. Thank you.